Welcome to Katy Calls BS, the podcast where we cut through the noise in course creation, digital products, and business strategy. I'm Katy Miller, bringing you blunt advice, real action steps, and the occasional F-bomb because building a business is hard and the BS isn't helping. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Katy Calls BS. We are one episode away from episode 150, which is super exciting. This week, we're going to talk about something that we as business owners can do really well, especially with the skills and expertise we chose to create a business around. Someone can message us, we can have a conversation with someone, we can even see someone's business on social media and easily spot where they might be stuck and what they need. This usually happens for me while I'm having a conversation with someone. It's part of what we bring to the table. It's why a client will come to us because we have the knowledge about instructional design, web design, Dubsado, workflows, email marketing, brand photography, whatever it may be. They walk us through their business, what they do, who they work with, what's not working. And within about 5-10 minutes, we can usually tell them exactly where the gap is, what they have, what's missing, what needs to be built first, what needs to happen, how we can help them. It's not a magical thing. It's distance. It's not standing inside their business like them. I can see it. You can see it because we're not standing in it. Here's where I call BS, and it's on myself as well. The same person who can diagnose a total stranger's business in 10 minutes will sit on their own pile of templates, guides, and half-finished ideas for years without doing a thing about it. This goes back to something I touched on in another episode, the I can do it myself problem. You. Today I want to dig into why, and then I want to show you something practical and what it looks like to take one thing you already know, you already have in your business, and turn it into more than one stream of income. But why do we do this? Obviously, we get so close to our businesses that it's hard to see the things in front of our faces. We know what we have to do, but our to-do lists are miles long. But when someone comes to you, like a friend, a client, a stranger in a Facebook group, someone DMs you on Instagram, and they describe their business, almost immediately you can see it, and you get super excited to diagnose it. Your brain goes into processing mode because this is what you're really good at. Once you tell them, they're super grateful. You can pitch your services and they work with you. For me, it looks like they have 3 good pieces of content sitting unused. They've got a process they repeat with every client that should be a product. They've got expertise nobody's paying for separately because it's buried inside this bigger offer that they have, and they don't know it yet. Meanwhile, you have the exact same issues in your business and know how to fix it, but it's at the bottom of your to-do list. And it will likely stay there for a while. When I was a social media manager, we all would say the same thing. Don't judge us based on our own social media content because we have nothing on our pages. We're working hard for our clients. Website designers leave their own website updates for last, and it usually takes months. Brand photographers will plan the photo shoot for their clients, but getting ready for their own feels way harder. Systems experts can prep the back end of their clients' businesses, but spending time on their own is not the main priority. We do it at the beginning of our businesses, but once we're booked and busy, this becomes harder and harder to prioritize. The same thing happens with digital products. You have all the pieces, but it's not a priority. And I get it. You have all the content sitting in your own Google Drive or wherever you hold all your files, the guide you wrote for one client that would help 50 other people, the process you've explained 40 times that's never been written down once, the framework you follow for every coaching client that could easily be a digital product. You're not missing the insight. You have the insight. So why does this happen to literally everyone who's good at what they do? The first is proximity. We talked about this back in episode 139 in the context of pricing, but it shows up here too. When you're too close to something, it looks a little too average. The thing you know so well, you could explain it in your sleep, doesn't register as an asset. It registers as just what you do. You can't see the value of something that stopped feeling remarkable a long time ago. The second is letting other people see it. When you diagnose someone else's business, you're not carrying their fear of being wrong, their attachment to how things have always worked, or their sense of what should come next. You have nothing at stake. You hand that over to them. But inside your own business, every decision is loaded with history and identity attached to it. That weight makes it almost impossible to see it clearly. The third is it feels like admin work and not strategy. Documenting what you repeat, organizing what you've built, none of that feels like real work. It feels like a side project. It feels like extra from all the other stuff that you have to do. So it loses priority pretty quickly. It loses it to client work that has a deadline attached and money. The fourth is you assume what's obvious to you is obvious to everyone. This is the most common one that I see. You think that everyone probably already knows this. Isn't it obvious? They don't. The thing that feels really basic to you is exactly the thing your audience is stuck on. We do the same thing with our social media content. What feels really basic to us is not basic for our audience. It means you're human and that you've been in business for a while, and we forget about these things. It means you need the same outside distance for your own business that you naturally give everyone else's. But what does it look like in practice? Let's look at one piece of expertise, something that almost every service provider has. I'll show you 5 different ways it can show up as income. Not 5 different ideas, but the same thing repositioned 5 different ways. So let's say your one thing is a process, the exact steps you walk every client through at the start of an engagement, the questions you ask, the order you ask them in, the things you're listening for. Literally everyone has this. It's the process you take clients through. We all have it. So the first stream of income is going to be your internal resource. This is where it starts. This is documented for your own use. It cuts your own repetition and makes your delivery more consistent. It's not sold yet, but this is the raw material for everything else. This is like your base product. The second stream of income is a standalone paid guide. Take that same process, strip out anything specific to your business, and package it as something anyone at that starting point could buy and use themselves. This is a low price point, somewhere in the $15 range. If you bulk it up a little bit, it's going to get closer to maybe $47. This is your entry point. Someone who isn't ready to hire you yet, but they get a real useful piece of your thinking for a pretty low price. They start building that trust factor with you. The third stream of income is a template or a toolkit. The process probably has artifacts attached to it. Now we're adding things like a worksheet, a tracker, a set of prompts. Package those separately as a template product. So that's 2 things, 2 separate things. You have your process and you have the templates. Templates are some of the highest margin digital products that exist because they're really fast to produce and you can use them in so many different ways in your business. You might already have them. They save the buyer time. These are the type of products that someone can put into practice immediately. Someone who wouldn't buy a guide might buy a tool. The fourth stream of income is a workshop or a webinar. Take the same process and teach it live. Walk people through it live. This is the bridge format we talked about back in episode 138. It's not a separate product. It's a demonstration of the same thinking you take your clients through in real time in front of people who haven't bought anything yet. It builds that trust and it's going to funnel people towards a guide, the toolkit, or your paid services. The fifth stream of income is a licensed or white label version. This one's less obvious, but if your process is genuinely useful to people in adjacent fields, other coaches, other consultants, agencies who serve a similar client, you can license the framework itself for them to use with their own clients under their own brand. This is an expansion layer territory, and it only works once the rest of your ecosystem already proves that your framework holds up. So you can't start here. It's the same knowledge, same framework, 5 different positions. None of it required you to learn anything new or create anything new. It requires you to stop seeing your process as just something you do and start seeing it as inventory. This is something you already do. It's something that most of us have in our businesses already. Think about it this way. You don't need a new idea to diversify your income. You need to look at the one thing you already have and that you already do every day from 5 different angles. Most people think diversifying means coming up with more stuff or creating something new or, oh, great, I need to build a new product. It doesn't. It means taking what's already proven in your process, because you're already doing that with real clients, and giving it more jobs. That's a fundamentally different and much less overwhelming problem than what else should I build. So here's where to start this week. Pick one process, framework, or piece of knowledge you use with every client, not 5 things, one. Then ask, what would this look like as a guide, as a template, as a live session? You don't have to build all 5. Just see what it would look like. Imagine it. Think about it. Most people stop at, I have an internal resource. It could be more. So think about that. I've been saying this for years, that you have everything that you need to build digital products sitting in your Google Drive or wherever you keep your files for your business. You already have it all. And if you want someone else's eyes on your own business, the kind of outside distance you give everyone else for free, that's exactly what the digital product infrastructure audit is for. We look at what you already have and show you the 5 angles you can't see from the inside. The link is in the show bio. You already know how to do this. You do it for other people constantly. Do yourself a favor and treat your business like a client. See what happens when you step back from it. Even if what it needs is not your area of expertise, you will now know what the next step is going to be. Then make the move. Having multiple streams of income is not optional anymore. You don't need to reinvent the wheel or create a brand new offer. I promise it's sitting in everything you've created for your business already. I can see it. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. If this episode hit home, your next step isn't to build anything. It's to audit what you already have. I offer a paid infrastructure audit where I review your current offers, delivery load, and where your business is relying too heavily on you. You'll get a clear decision doc and a Loom walkthrough outlining what actually makes sense next. The link is in the show notes.